You're listening to the sounds of LMP DJs on Eccentric Sessions.
Well, I'm now joined by my guests, the LMP DJs. We're going to have a little bit of an interview, and then they're going to see us out through till 3 PM with a guest mix. Now, first things first, guys, if you'd like to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit more about the LMP name and brand.
Hey Danny, I'm Dylan Koenig.
And I'm Adam Kay. Together we are the LMP DJs.
And LMP stands for Like-Minded People, just in case you were wondering. It's a night that we started over 5 years ago in London, and then it sort of developed into many other things, including us being the LMP DJs.
Okay, so we've learned a little bit more. You've already taken the LMP brand throughout many destinations across the UK and beyond. Just let us all know what you've got in store for us throughout the rest of 2010.
Well, we're just on a recruiting mission looking for like-minded people up and down the UK and across the globe. We're going to be in Ibiza this summer, obviously. We've been there for the last 5 to 6 years, so we'll be at Judgment Sundays.
Yes, and we'll be there on August the 8th.
Well, it all sounds very exciting throughout the summer as well. Now, as well as being DJs, you're both producers. You find time to get yourselves in the studio and distribute your tracks through your own record label, LMP Recordings. Is there any new material we should be really keeping our ears peeled for?
So when me and Dylan produce, we produce as the LMP DJs, and we keep all our original stuff for LMP Recordings because that's the home, and it helps raise our own profile of the label as well. A lot of hand pushing.
Yeah, why give our treats and beats away to other people?
Well, do you know what? That's why we set the label up, because it seemed kind of pointless taking our records to, Ministry of Sound or CR2 and saying, hey, do you want this record? Or Touring Records and going, do you want this record? And then saying, well, yes, but we can't release it until a year. And it's like, well, okay, thanks, but what does that say about the record? So, you know what? If you've got a record and it's a gem, then it means it takes the pressure off us recording, and it means we can release with no pressure. So all the music we make is not designed to be a hit record. If it becomes a hit record, then it's a bonus for us. But it's not about the pressure of knocking out records week after week after week.
And we also get to basically go around and find other great music by other people that we like and put it out on our own label. We've just put out Bailey and Middleditch, Scaramanga, which is a great little sort of housey number.
We've remixed. We like to introduce new acts and then remix them ourselves, and that's the whole point of absorbing them into the label, because it means we can actually put our twist on it as well, which it's working really well. We've had airplay across national radio stations all over the place, which we're really happy for, and obviously good DJ reactions as well. But primarily the label is aimed at ourselves as a chance to put our own music out.
Now, as well as making your own sounds, you support other producers heavily. Who should we be really looking out for at the moment?
It's such an awful question because...
No, it's not.
It's an awful question because, one, I have the memory of a sieve and can never remember stuff.
True, everybody, true.
And also it's just so hard to pick people, but people that have always been big for me, there's a guy coming out of Germany called Luxembourg, and he's very big.
He's been around for ages.
He has been around for ages, but what, is this meant to be new, or is it just meant to be stuff that we like?
No, fair enough, fair point.
Yeah, so I'm always a fan of his stuff. Filthy Rich is good, Spectre are good, Reva Star, obviously massive at the moment, and generally liking a lot of his stuff. Who else?
Can I throw some at you?
Yeah, go on.
Zombies for Money, big. Kaiser Disco, big. Reset Robot, Aspen in the Past, Anne Brooks, Cutwires, we mentioned them earlier. Fergie as well. He's on fire right now.
And Henry Von, his protege.
Recluse, the whole label's big. And
Eccentric.
Milton Channels and Paul Rich, all big in my CD wallet.
Now both of you yourselves involved in radio very heavily. With the surge of internet radio, podcasts and many mainstream stations going out online, do you honestly see in 10 to 15 years' time that people will still be tuning into their terrestrial radio?
Basically, I think, yeah, because you're going to have the terrestrial stations. Well, there will be a big set of stations that have the biggest presenters, the biggest names, and they'll be the big ones that are online, podcastable, downloadable, DAB, all that sort of stuff, internet radio, listen again. And so you're all going to have those big stations, but FM is a dying format. So it's all about, if you notice, the big stations are all taking on new technology. they're trying to develop and change and sort of follow the times as much as they can. So I think it will change, but that doesn't necessarily mean the death of FM stations.
This feels like a radio forum right now. Any more questions in the back?
Panel, yeah.
Okay, so moving on from your radio jobs, many DJs are kind of usually set out to work by themselves. How did you guys meet, and what was that kind of inspiration to think, hang on a minute, why don't we work together?
Well, we met because I used to work in PR and Adam used to work in radio, well, still does, and I was working in PR and I decided I didn't like it and I wanted to get into radio. And I'd met Adam at Homeland in 2003.
Really and truly, that's not exactly right.
I know, that's not true, but, well...
That was our first party. That was our first party, wasn't it, proper?
Yeah, that was the first time we properly met and actually hung out and sort of got to know each other. And I said, come on, let me sit in on the show with you and I'll sort of learn how to do radio. And he let me sit in. He used to do overnights on Capital.
Don't mention that.
Oh, he used to do... Alright, he used to do...
I used to work in radio late nights, yeah.
He used to do late nights, and I used to go and sit in with him, and he would let me use the other studio and learn how to use a radio studio.
Which is how the best of them started, I'll be honest, because a lot of people do that, and I'm not naming names, but someone who's quite big at another big radio station did exactly that, and they are quite popular right now, and have their own festival.
Yeah, so that's how we started. We met doing radio, got chatting about the fact that we're both DJs, both used to put nights on and DJ around the plough, and decided to put a night on for our mates, so we could, just have a laugh with our mates rather than having to deal with annoying doormen and bouncers and promoters and stuff like that. And that's how Like-Minded People was born.
Now, I'm sure as a duo that you have plenty of fun spending so much time with each other, but what habits does the other one have that kind of really gets on your nerves?
I'll start off with this one, because Dylan, right, loves a good moan. If he doesn't get sleep, my day is ruined. I promise. It doesn't matter where we are in the world. It could be Ibiza, Amsterdam, Germany, whatever. It doesn't matter. My day's ruined if Dylan doesn't sleep. So everybody be warned.
It's very true. If I don't get some sleep, and generally food as well, I can get
basically anything that could possibly irritate you. That's Dylan.
Yeah. And I guess on the flip side of that is that Adam doesn't ever seem to run out of energy. It's really annoying. Like, it'll be 6 o'clock in the morning. We've been going all night, and I am ready to go to bed. The night is done, and Adam's like, "No, come on, let's go to this other party." It's like, Adam, our flight leaves in about 4 hours. Let's just go home, like have a shower, get ready. No, we'll just go straight to the airport. So yeah, that's what annoys me about him.
Yeah, the thing is, I enjoy good sleep as much as you, except my sleep lasts 3 hours and yours lasts 9. That's the difference.
Yeah.
I think for the summer, by the way, forget power naps. It's all about power showers. That's all you need. Forget them. Just a tip.
Hour-long nap and then a shower. Even better. Don't listen to him.
We get along so well.
Well, without giving too much away, give us a little bit of an insight to what we can expect for the up-and-coming mix that you're going to do.
I would say tough, jump-up, driving, house music. It's a bit of a coined phrase of ours, but it's true.
Yeah, I mean, people always ask you how do you describe your sound? And basically, we play great house music. We've never...
Even if we do say so ourselves.
Yeah, but it's not about sort of playing tech house or techno or funky house or disco house or whatever like that. We, to be honest, play a bit of everything, and we always adapt our sets to the crowd we're playing for. If we're playing at a festival, we're going to play something very different to we were playing a little dark, sweaty club somewhere in the middle of winter.
But you've got to say that there would be a familiar sound.
Yeah.
But it'd obviously be catering, but it'd still be our sound. And to be honest, the whole point of me getting into DJing and then obviously meeting Dylan and stuff was because I just wanted to hear tracks that no one else was playing. And hence we're DJs now. And you know what? Hopefully people come along to our parties and stuff and, for the same reason. So, yeah, tough. It's definitely got to have a tough kick. It's got to have a tough bass line. You're going to hear some vocals. You're going to hear a bit of everything. But not mash up. I hate that.
And it's got to have a groove to it. That's, for me, I don't care how minimal the track is. As long as it's got a groove, I like it.
If it makes my fist pump, I'm in.
Right, guys, before I let you go, the internet's a big place. There's plenty of information to be found about people. If people want to keep up to date with you and learn more about your gigs and productions, where can they find you?
Where can't you find us? We are on SoundCloud, we are on MySpace. We're on Facebook.
Resident Advisor.
Mixcloud, iTunes.
Yeah.
So basically, if you go on iTunes and search for LMP Podcast or Like-Minded People, you'll find it.
You'll also find LMP recording stuff attached to that as well. So it's like if you are looking and wondering what we sound like, then go check it out.
So basically, get on Google, search for LMP DJs or Like-Minded People Presents, and you will find some form of us out there.
Well, thanks for coming, guys. It was great chatting with you. Hopefully we'll catch up with you sometime soon. Well, they are the LMP DJs, and they're now going to go into the mix through till 3 p.m. You tuned in here to Radio Frequency. This is the LMP DJs in the mix.
You're listening to the sounds of LMP DJs on Eccentric Sessions.